Hey everyone, this is Keith with CampWorks, and in this video we will take a look at the reservation map and learn how to use it and how to create it. First of all, let's discuss what the reservation map is and why you may want to use it. We will teach you in this video how to set it up. You start with your own map file, and then in CampWorks we show you how to define certain areas and add these fill indicators that show whether a site is reserved or not. At the top of the map, you can select, in the map form, you can select different maps. And so you can have multiple different areas if you want. Generally, you really only need one map unless you have a very large property. Select the dates that you want to check the map out for, and you can see the colors will change depending on the dates that you select. So we're wide open on these dates, but if we go back to the 6th, and the 7th, then we'll see that these are the dates that I have open. So the dates that are at the top are the dates that you would be making a reservation for on the map. So for example, let's click on Site 1. It shows we have one reservation already on Site 1 over these dates. If I had multiple reservations, in other words, if I had dates that extended out further and there were multiple reservations in that time period, they would show up in this list. You can double click to open that reservation and edit it, do whatever you want. Clicking anywhere off of the grid that popped up will eliminate the grid or close the grid. If I click on a site that is open, like number 3 that has the white circle in it, that means it's available. Put in my code, log in, and now I can make a guest reservation. So let's make one for myself. Just grab one of my existing profiles, and now we can save the reservation. So that's how you make a reservation from the map. One of the main reasons why you may want to use a map file if you haven't in the past is if you make or are accepting online reservations and you want your guests to be able to pick a site available. It is a nice feature to have the map shown online so that they can see what sites are available. And so with, as of CampWorks 3.12, the map is available online. And so that is another reason why you'd like to get this set up. And then I will show you later in this video how, once it is set up, how to upload it and use it online. Now let's discuss how to set up your map. When you first open up the map area, you will see a screen like this because you do not have a map yet, and you'll need to add a map. And you may just want to call it main. I already have a main, so I'm just going to call it main 4. And then you need to select your map file. Hopefully many of you already have a map file from some of the publishers that have created map files for advertising purposes, or you can create one from scratch or hire someone to create a map for you. Unfortunately, that's not something that we do. But once you have your map file, you now select that map file and bring it into CampWorks. So we select the map. You can use either a JPEG or PNG format is most typical. Now there are a couple of options. Starting with 3.12, the version or the map process has gotten much easier. You no longer have to, if you're familiar with the old process, you had to draw those little circles manually onto the map file. You no longer need to do that. Now CampWorks does it automatically. But if you have an old legacy map that has the indicators on it, then you would check this. But for going forward, for all practical purposes, you'll leave that off. And then if you want to use the map for online reservations, just check this box and it will create a version for online reservations. Hit add, and now main 4 was added in. Alright, so here's our main 4 empty map. Depending on the size of your map file, you may need to adjust the size of the file itself to fit your screen more nicely. So you can usually right click in Windows and click on Edit, and it will open the map in your editor. This editor that opened is Paint. It will open whatever default editor that you have. And so Windows Paint is a basic tool for editing. Notice there's a resize option. You can click resize pixels. Now on my screen, 1000 by 1000 is a nice size roughly. On this one it's not quite 1000 in the vertical, but depending on your map file it could be different. From a vertical size, right around 1000 is pretty close, or 900. Again, on my monitor it looks nice. Depending on your monitor you may need to adjust this. Keep the aspect ratio fixed, or you can crop the file just using basic editor tools to get it to the size that you want, but you may have to manipulate the file just a little bit to make it look nice on your screen. Another tool that you can use, if you right click, there is Paint 3D. If you select Open With and select Paint 3D, then to resize on this, and first of all notice the view is set to, let's just set it to 100. So set the view so that you can see it full size 100%, and then on this program you would click on Canvas, and then over here you can change the size to whatever you want. So let's say 1200, and now you can see that it resized it. And then you select the menu and Save As to create a new name. So that's the basics of how you would edit your map file in order to get it to the size that fits nicely on your screen. You can also resize the CampWorks form, the window, to fit the size of your image so that it looks nice on display. CampWorks will remember this size, so when we close and reopen, it maintains that same size. So in my case, I'm going to basically do this, and so it will open just like that when we open it again. Now we're finally to the setup. So we have our main image now loaded, and so now we want to tell CampWorks where each of the rental spaces are on the image file that we've put in place. So the first thing that we do is we go into edit mode. In edit mode, now I left click with my mouse on the first point. There'll be 4 points that you can use to define each rental space. Now a box will pop up, a window pops up that asks what type of site it is. It's a campsite, and then it will give us the list of sites. This is site 1. And then the last step of setting up a rental space is to select where you want that white circle to show up. So we hit select, and we put the crosshairs in the center of where we want the circle. Let's say right there. And now hit save. And now we've just defined our first hotspot. We can also change that indicator size to be different sizes based off of what we want it to look like. I'd say right there maybe looks pretty nice. Okay, now we go back to edit mode. In edit mode we can see the pink outline of where the rental space is, and now we just create the next one. So it's pretty much that easy. We just define all of the hotspots, select space 2 on this one, select where we're putting it, putting the fill indicator, save, and that's it. The pink outlines are not visible when in online or in the standard mode. They are just defining what area you can click within to get site 1. So now I'm in standard mode. If I click on this, I will see that reservation. And if I click anywhere else, nothing happens because we haven't defined any other hotspots yet. If you need to edit a hotspot, one of the rental spaces that you defined on the map, go into edit mode, make sure you're in edit mode, and then just click anywhere inside the pink area, and now it will open the details of that site. Let's say I want to reselect the fill indicator. So I hit select, now it goes into the mode of reselecting. Let's say I want to put it over here just so I can show you how that works. Hit save, now we've moved it to that area. I don't like that, so let's do it again. Click here, select, now we'll put it back and save. You can also edit the points on the rental space. So let's drag those points. So that's where we would click the Edit Rental Space Hotspot Coordinates. Click that. Now it tells us how to do this. Edit points by left-clicking and holding on the white squares to drag to the desired location. And then when we're done, we click the right mouse button. All right, so let's say we want to drag this one over here, this one over here. So now we're going to, anywhere in that area it's clickable, and that would be site 1. And now I just hit the right mouse button and it will, and then hit save, and now we've defined that area as our new area for hotspot 1. Now the last thing is, once you've defined all of your hotspots, we can click the upload button, and that will send the map file and all of the map data up to our server for online reservations. So that pretty much wraps it up. That gives you everything that you need to know to create your map file, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.